Good morning, or it's almost afternoon now. It's just after 12, Monday, 7th of November. We're going to continue our work on the lower back, and we'll be working with a tennis ball, and we'll start on our mats. So go ahead and get onto your mat. I'm going to show a really good way to get down onto the floor. I recommend this is the way you get down on the floor, and at the end of class, I'll show how we get up from the floor as well. And these are some of the best ways you can do that for your low back, okay? So I find more and more the best way for me to get down on the floor for my low back is to open the feet nice and wide. I use my legs by pressing the hips back, and you get into a deep squat. Then your fingertips can come to the floor. Step your hands forward so that you're on all fours, and then bring one knee down at a time. This helps not only with the knees, the hips, but it also helps the low back to stay healthy. You'll sit down on one hip, and we'll come to a seated position, rolling down slowly onto the back. Take your tennis ball with you, and we'll place the tennis ball at the low back, at the lumbar region, very close to the spine on the right-hand side, but not on the bones, please. From the back, I'll show you where it is. We want to be here, just at the right-hand side, very close to the spine, okay? So your bones are here in the center, just be to the right of the bones. This is not going to be super comfortable, but I want you to feel that there's curve there. Place your hands on your tummy and take a few deep breaths, okay? So this is just creating some pressure into the muscles there. It's creating curve in the low back because we all want to have curve in our low back. That's important for the health of your back. There's some natural curves we need to keep. And then you can roll off the ball to your left and bring the ball a little bit more out to the side. So the first spot was very close to the bones. Second spot, a little farther out to the right, okay? And again, hands onto the belly, and you just breathe. If you don't have a tennis ball, you can always do this with your fists at the low back. Okay, and first they're very close in towards the spine, and then you move them out, doing both sides at the same time, which means you will do it twice. Now let's roll off the ball again and bring the ball far out to the outside. And here you're going to feel it's very close to the waist now, and it feels like, oh, it might slip out from underneath you. It's really to the outside. Cross your arms over your chest and roll on the ball and off. Just roll on and off. And this creates some pressure. This is also a myofascial massage of the transversus abdominis, which is a muscle that goes right around the belly. And you just take your time, roll on and off. One more, rolling on and off. And now we take the ball out from underneath, and we'll do the left-hand side. Place the ball very close to the bones, to the spine, and it's affecting all those muscles, and especially the spinal muscles that go up and down the length of the spine. And you'll feel a lot of pressure there. Just breathe. If it's painful, of course, you can roll off the ball a little bit. But it shouldn't be painful, maybe just a little bit uncomfortable. And then we'll take the ball, move it out a little bit. If you're using your fist, you're doing both sides at the same time. And again, we're just breathing, noticing the pressure, noticing what's happening here. Be gentle with yourself. Never go into any pain, please. And then we'll take the ball and bring it out all the way to the outer edge of the left-hand side. So it feels like the ball is going to slip out from underneath you. Cross your arms over your chest and roll onto the ball and back. And this should feel pretty good. Yeah. Onto the ball and back. Take your time. Couple more rolls on and back. And then again. Excellent. Now take the ball out from underneath the low back. You can place it to the side. You can push it to the side. You don't need the ball anymore. And just place your hands at your waist and notice how you're feeling right now at the low back. For me, after having massaged it with the ball, I feel much more curved. I feel like there's more awareness in my low back because it stimulated all of the muscles there as well as the fascia. And I feel almost like my waist is longer. Stretch both arms over your head, stretch both legs onto the floor, take a deep breath in, breathe out and bring the right knee up against the chest and pull it against the chest. Here it's stretching out the low back as well. Breathing in, raise your arms over your head again. Breathe out, left knee comes up to the chest and we pull it towards the chest. Good. And again, let's breathe in, raise the arms, stretching. Breathing out, right knee comes up to the chest, pull it in. Breathing in, let's stretch. Breathing out, left knee comes up to the chest. One more time each side. Take a deep breath in, reach. Breathing out, right knee comes up. And last one, breathing in, stretch. Breathing out, left knee comes up. Now both knees can come up to the chest. Grab a hold nicely around the knees. You should feel a deep stretch in your low back. And rock from side to side. Good. Now lift your head, nose between the knees, rounding out the body completely. Bring your head softly back down to the earth, right onto the right ear. Now here's where I want to show you, this is the way you should always lift yourself up from the floor. Roll to your right-hand side. Now you could even do this from your bed, and it's actually highly recommended that everyone gets up from their bed this way as well. Hands come down, you breathe out, you pull the perineum up, and you're lifting yourself from the side. So this protects the low back, the hips, even the knees. Come up onto your hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take a deep breath in and curl your spine, look skyward. And breathe out and round, look to your belly button. Breathing in, curling, look skyward, and breathe out and round. Take your time with these movements. Breathing in, curling. Breathing out and rounding. And once more, let's breathe in and curl. And breathe out and round. Come back to a flat back, opening your knees as wide as your mat. Toes can be close to each other. Lean back and get into a child's pose. So the forehead comes down, the arms are stretched in front of you. You should feel a nice stretch down through the low back, even in the hips and thighs in this position. From here, come up onto the hands and knees. Be sure your hands are shoulder width. Tuck your toes under and lift yourself up into a down dog pose. Bend your right knee, press the left heel down and change. Left knee bends, right heel goes down. Ooh, this feels a really good stretch down the backs of the legs and especially into the calves. Pressing down, take your time. One more time each side. All right. Keep the feet hip width. Take a deep breath in and move into a plank position. Chest forward, head lifts, belly contracts, and push back to down dog. So again, let's make it strong. Breathe into plank, looking forward, shoulders wide, and press back to down dog. One more time. Breathe in, coming into plank position. Lower your knees softly to the earth and lower your chest down very slowly and easily. Okay, point your toes and lengthen your legs. Now, last week, a student had asked, what does it mean pressing the tailbone down towards the heels? It means that your low back and your tailbone, which is your sacrum, feel as if you're pushing it down. In order to do that, you've got to pull your belly button up and in, squeeze your glutes, and push your tailbone down towards your heels. So it's an internal contraction to do this on your own. You squeeze and push towards the heels. You're going to feel that your belly comes a little bit up off the floor. Then rise to a little cobra. This helps the low back to be long. Bring your chest back down. Let's do that again. Keep the legs strong, glutes strong, push the tailbone down. Breathe in, rise again to cobra. And breathe out, come back down. One more time. Squeeze the glutes, tailbone goes down. Rise to cobra. And bring your chest back down. Push up onto your hands and knees again. Bring your hands off the right-hand side of the mat. Press your hips back. Getting a nice stretch in through the whole side body, back, all the way down to the hips. Lifting back up, change sides. The hands come off the left-hand side of the mat. Hips go back, deep stretch. Lifting back up, hands onto the mat. Tuck your toes under, rise to down dog once again. Okay, open your feet as wide as your mat. Walk your hands back. So this is just the opposite of what we did when we got down to the floor. Feet are wide, toes a little bit out to the sides, hips far back, fingertips on the floor, and just bounce here. 5, 4, 3, back as long, 2, and 1. Lifting, bring your hands to your thighs. Lift your chest, get your arms completely straight, and lift the chin. Bring your right shoulder forward, look over your left shoulder. Back to center, so this is some nice twisting. Change sides. It's also working the neck back to center, which I've mentioned before. It's important to work your neck every day. Back to center, change. Back to center. One more time each side. Right shoulder forward, look over the left shoulder. Back to center, other side. Left shoulder forward. And back to center. Lift your chest without straightening the legs. So this is going to create more curve in your back. When you create more curve, of course, the muscles will contract. You can even check by setting your hands at your low back in this position. You're going to feel that those muscles get very hard and tight and strong. Lift your chest nicely and raise the arms. So you don't want to be in pain, but you do want to feel something's working at the low back. Squat down, let your arms come up, and then come up to a half squat. Let the arms come back to parallel. We do that 10 times. 9, 8, keep going. 7, yes, get a deep squat. Yes, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up to standing. Put your hands on your hips and let your hips go from side to side. Well done. Keep the knees slightly bent and make a nice big circle with the hips. So any kind of movement side to side or around with the hips is going to help to mobilize the low back. We're going to do this a few times during our class today. Change the direction of the circle. And of course, anytime we move a part of the body, it brings in blood, circulation, lymph, and it helps everything to be hydrated. Coming back to center, let your hips go side to side, and step in. There's a beautiful phrase that I know a lot of sportives use. Let's step to the front edge of the mat, and that is motion is lotion. And in my classes, we try to move every single part of the body. So it's like bringing lotion to every single articulation, every single joint, every single muscle. Open your toes now. Be sure your toes are well grounded into the ground. Your knees are soft. Your hips are back a little bit. Your chest and your whole rib cage is lifted. Shoulders open, arms straight by your sides, and chin parallel to the floor. Good. Let's bring our hands to the heart center and let's start some movement. Deep breath in, rise. As you fold, bring your elbows towards your knees, fold right down, and then your hands come down and step back to a beautiful plank position. Now in the plank, we're going to work the low back and the core a little bit. To do that, turn your right hip and point the outside of the right hip down towards the floor. Come back to center. It's a twist. And now your left hip, point it down towards the floor and then back to center. Lower your knees and lower your chest down. Point your toes, lengthen your legs. Remember the squeezing of the glutes, the pushing of the tailbone back so your belly lifts. Rise to a cobra. And then bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Coming to downward facing dog pose. Now in down dog, turn your toes to the right and bounce here 3 times. 2, 1. Turn your toes to the left and bounce. 3, 2, 1. Turn your toes back forward. Raise your right leg and press the right leg to the sky 3 times. 2, 1. Now swing the right foot as far forward as possible. Stepping the rest of the way forward. Hands can come to your thighs. Lift your chest. And raise your arms by your ears. And bounce here. 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up to standing, arms stretched by your sides. Refine the grounding of the feet. Strengthen the legs, hips back, ribs lifted, arms straight. Hands to heart center. Go again. Deep breath in, stretch skyward. Folding, elbows come to knees. And we step back to the plank position. Now here we go with the twisting. Left hip, turn it. Coming back to center, right hip, turn it. Back to center, knees come down, lower yourself to the earth. Point your toes, lengthen your legs, squeeze your glutes, press the tailbone towards the heel, come up to cobra, and then push back. Down dog. Turning your toes to the left, bounce here. 3, you got this twist going on. 2, 1 more. Woohoo. Turn your toes to the right and bounce. 3, 2, 1. Turn the toes forward, left foot goes up and we press. 3, 2, 1. Swing the foot forward, stepping the rest of the way forward. Hands come to thighs, lift the chest. You're in a chair position, bounce it. 3, 2, 1. Up to standing, arms straight. Yes. Hands to heart center. Going again, deep breath in. Fold it forward. I'm going to come and have a look. Step back to a plank position. Good job. Right hip goes down. That's fantastic. Yes, good twist. Back to center. Left hip goes down. Good. Back to center. Lower your knees. Bring yourself all the way to the earth. Beautiful. Point your toes. Everyone squeeze the glutes. Press the tailbone towards the heels. Rise to cobra. And then push back to your down dog. Yes. Turn your toes to the right. Bouncing. 3, 2, 1. Turn them to the left and bouncing. 3, 2, 1. Good. Lift your right leg up. Press it to the sky. 3, 2, 1. Swinging it forward as far as possible. Step the rest of the way forward. into chair. Support yourself in chair. Bouncing, 3, yes, 2, 1, up to standing. Now find that perfect posture, ladies. So legs straight, perfect posture. Hands to heart center. And go again, deep breath in, rise. Good, fold forward. Excellent. Stepping back to plank. Left hip points down, twist. Right hip points down, twist, yes. Moving down, you can move down with or without your knees, whatever's best for you. Squeeze the glutes, really get in the position for your cobra. And then push back to downward facing dog, yeah. Turn your toes to the right and bounce, 3, 2, 1, and then to your left, bounce, 3, 2, 1, then raise the left leg up and press it to the sky, 3, 2, 1, stepping forward. That's great, everybody. Hands to thighs, coming into chair and bounce, 3, 2, 1, all the way up to standing. Refine that perfect posture. Okay, we're going to add on to all of this. Hands to heart center. We're going to keep moving. Motion is lotion. Deep breath in. Fold it forward. Stepping back to plank. Dip the right hip down. Coming back. Dip the left hip down. Coming back. Lower your knees and do 1 push-up. For the push-up, really pull your belly in to control the movement. And then move all the way down. Point your toes, lengthen out. Now squeeze the glutes, press the tailbone down and back, rise to cobra and stay in cobra. Turn your shoulders and look over your right shoulder, see if you can see your right foot. Coming back to center, lower down, push up onto the hands and knees and then down dog. Okay, without the twisting of the toes this time, I want you to raise your right leg, press it as high as possible to the sky, and take a big swing and bring it as far forward as possible. Ideally, to your right hand, okay? Ideally. Keep yourself down, right hand onto the right thigh, open up, take a deep breath in, stretch the right arm to the sky, breathe out, bring the hand back down to the earth. Again, breathe in, rise. Breathe out, hand comes back down. Last time, you're twisting to your right. Breathe in and breathe out. Step your left foot forward. Take that chair position, arms by your ears and bounce. 3, 2, 1, come up to standing. If at any point it's too much, you take a break, no problem. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise. And we fold. Stepping back to plank. Left hip, bring it down, twisting, back to center, right hip. Bring it down, back to center, knees come down, 1 push-up, down and up. All the way down now, everyone. Woo, point your toes, lengthen out, squeeze the glutes, press the tailbone back, lift to cobra, twist to your left, look over your left shoulder towards your left foot. Back to center, bring the chest back down, up and into down dog. Okay, the left leg goes up as far as possible. Lift, 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 lift. Get momentum and swing it forward as far as possible. Keeping the right hand on the floor. Left hand comes to the thigh to start. Take a deep breath in and twist to your left. Left arm up to the sky. Bring your left hand down just to touch the floor. Breathing in, lift the left arm. You're twisting and opening. So good for the low back. 1 more time. Lifting, opening. Good. Hand comes down. Step your right foot forward as well. Hands to thighs, coming up to chair. Arms by your ears, and we bounce. 3, 2, 1. Up to standing. Let's run through that 2 more times. Hands to heart center. Breath in. Folding. Stepping back to plank. Right hip towards the floor. Back to center. Left hip towards the floor. Back to center. Knees come down. One push-up. Stay controlled. All the way down. Point your toes. Lengthen. Squeeze your glutes. Tailbone towards the heels. Rise. Twist to your right. Back to center. Bring your chest down. Up and into down dog. Right leg lifts as high as possible. Swing it forward as far as possible. Right arm, raise it, breathing in, twisting to your right. Breathe out, bring the hand to the floor. Breathing in, twist to the right. Breathing out, hand to the floor. One more time. Breathe in, twist. Breathing out, hand to the floor. Push off your left foot, coming forward, knees bend, hands to thighs, coming to chair. Bounce it. 3, 2, 1. We have one more round. Everybody stick with it. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Fold it forward. Stepping back to plank. Left hip moves down. Bring it back. Right hip moves down. Bring it back. Knees come down. One push-up. Oh yeah, all the way down. Cobra, squeezing the glutes, press the tailbone back. Turn, look to your left. Back to center. And into down dog. Left leg goes up as high as possible. Swing it forward. Left arm, twist open to your left. 3, touch the floor. 2, here's the last one. 1, hands come down, step everything forward. Hands to thighs, lifting up, arms by your ears, and let's bounce here. 3, 2, 1, all the way up to standing. Oh, good job. Well done, everybody. Take a big step back with one leg so you have an open position towards me. Hands to your hips, toes pointing straight forward, and move your hips from side to side. Good job. All right. Turn your toes out to the sides for the moment in an open V position. Bend both knees, let your hips go back. So from the side, it looks like an open squat, okay? But your feet are wide. Hips are back. Right elbow to the right thigh. Raise your left arm up over the head, and you'll feel a deep stretch, but a lengthening in the low back as well. Sink down in both legs, holding 3. Yes, good. Bring the arm next to the ear, so it's right by the ear. Yes, good. 2, 1. Now, bring the hand down to the floor and slowly twist your feet so they're pointing forward. Grab a hold of one ankle and pull yourself down towards the knee. So the nose goes down towards the knee. You're getting a deep stretch into the low back as well as in the back of the leg. Holding 3, 2, and 1. Now bring your hands to the floor and turn that same foot to the side. Bend the knee. Hands come to the inside of that foot. So at the arch of the foot, you're at the inside. Lift your back heel and you're getting into a deep lunge. Now keep your hips strong. So I don't want you to just sink into the hips. Keep the hips lifted and strong. But if possible, bring your elbows down. One elbow at a time and stay there. If it's too much, stay on your hands. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. If you're on your elbows, come back on your hands. Turn everything forward once again. Grab a hold of both ankles, pull yourself down, hold for a moment, let the head and neck get long and stretched out. You can make some movements with the head, a little yes, a little no, go back to a little yes. And then hands to the floor as you readjust your feet. Turn the heels in, hands onto the thighs, lift back up to that open squat. Yes, stay here for a moment. Just let your back lengthen. So in the open squat, your back is long, no rounding. Keep everything long and open. Chest lifted, throat lifting and lengthening. And we'll change sides. Left elbow goes down. Raise your right arm next to your right ear and stretch here. Really get long through the side of the body. Pull the belly upwards. Breathing deeply. 3, 2. Good job. 1. Excellent. Bring your hands down. Turn the feet parallel and grab a hold of the left ankle now. Pull yourself down. The nose goes towards the knee. You're getting a deep stretch into the low back. If you need to have your knees slightly bent, that's fine too. 3, 2, 1. Hands come to the floor. You'll turn that left foot towards the left, and your hands will come to the inside, just near the arch of the left foot. Then turn your right foot so you're lunging. Now you could stay here. The hips are held. Please do not sink the hips. Hips are held strong. You could lower one elbow at a time if you wish. Find what works for you and stay and breathe. Reset your hands. Turn your feet back forward. Bring your hands to the center. Grab a hold of your ankles and pull yourself down at the center. Let your head relax. Make a little yes, a little no, and again a little yes. Hands to the floor. Turn the heels in. Set your hands one at a time on the thighs. Lifting the chest, you're into that open squat. Once again, let yourself rest here for a moment. Good. And come all the way up to standing, straightening the legs, hands to hips. Move the hips from side to side. Yeah. And then make those circles with the hips. Well done. Change the direction of the circle. Perfect. If your knees and your hips are sensitive, step your feet in to bring them together. If they're strong, you want to work a little bit more, bend the knees and jump inwards. Feet together. Bend your right knee, bring it out to the side. You could be at the ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Raise your arms. Lift your chest away from the hips. Good. Deep breathing. Hands can come down to the hips now and lower the foot. Left leg, bend the knee, open up the knee. You could be at the ankle. You could be a little higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Raise your arms in a V position. Lift the chest away from the hips. Lift your eyes, focusing on one point. Good. Well done. Hands to the hips and lower the foot down. Good. We're going to move to the floor. Step to the front edge of your mat. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise. Folding yourself forward. Step back to your plank. So plank is one of the best positions to work the core of the body and the abdominals. We do plank in every single one of my classes because it's one of the extraordinary positions to get you stronger. You could lower your knees if you need to in plank. If you're up on your toes, we're going to add in the hip twist. So lower your right hip towards the earth and then come back to center. Left hip twisting, back to center. Right hip, back to center. Left hip, and you should really feel the abdominals working here. Last time, right hip, back to center, now the left. So strong, back to center. Lower your knees, lower the chest all the way down to the earth, hands under the forehead, and move your hips from side to side. Good job, everybody. Very good. Lifting your head, chest, and shoulders. Open your arms into a cactus position with the arms, elbows bent, palms facing the floor. Lift up your head, chest, shoulders, and arms, and raise your legs. If it's too much for the low back, you can keep the legs down. Hold here, breathe into the chest. See if you can lengthen the spine at the same time. And release, coming down. As we release between all of these strengthening exercises, move your hips from side to side. Lift up the head, chest, and shoulders again. This time, reach your arms behind you, clasping the hands together, squeeze the shoulder blades, and lift the legs again, only if comfortable. Breathe deeply into the chest, into the rib cage. Keep the belly a little bit strong. Please don't push into the belly. 3, 2, and 1. Hands underneath the forehead. Once again, move the hips side to side. Good. Good. Lift the head, chest, and shoulders. Bend your knees now, flexing your feet. Reach around behind you. You could either grab the heels, okay, or you could simply reach for them. If you've got the heels, press the heels into the hands. Lift the chest and hold here, squeezing the shoulder blades. 5 deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on back down, everyone. Good job. Hands underneath the shoulders. Lift up onto the hands and knees. Open your knees and come into child's pose for good release of the hips, low back, neck. Just let yourself go in child's pose. Bring your hands to either side of your head and lift up onto the hands and knees. Setting the hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to be doing a classic back exercise, which remains one of the best for your low back. Right arm in front of you, the pinky finger touches the floor. Left leg behind you, the big toe touches the floor. Lift your right arm and your left leg and hold it here. Good. In fitness circles, this is called the dog bird or the bird dog. Pull your belly in, lengthen out, and hold. Bring the hand back down, bring the knee back down. Open your knees and go back into child's pose to rest. Come up onto your hands and knees again. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Left arm out in front, the pinky finger touches the floor. Right leg behind, big toe touches. And here we go, we lift. Left arm, right leg, and we hold. Deep breaths here. Sure your head is slightly lifted as well, so you avoid the dropping of the head. You got a lifted head so the neck is engaged. Keep the belly strong. And lower the hand and the knee. Good job. Back into child's pose, everyone. Woo. From child's pose, bring your hands back. Coming up, you can rise up onto your knees if it's more comfortable for you. Depends on how your knees are feeling today. Or you can sit down onto your heels if you're more comfortable in this position. Right arm up. Let's bring the right hand behind the head and the neck. Left arm, draw it back and turn it so that you can reach up your back and either grab the hands or just reach for them. Once you find the perfect limit where you can feel the stretch and the mobilization going on in the shoulders without any pain, no pain please, close your eyes and take deep breaths. Open your eyes now, release the hands, fingertips touch the floor lightly, roll your shoulders softly and slowly. Good. Left arm up, over the head, reach down, right arm, turn it and bring it up the back. If you can grab the hands, great. If not, you just reach for them. Once you've got your position, close your eyes and breathe deeply. Open your eyes, releasing fingertips on the floor, roll your shoulders. Okay. Bring your feet to one side. Come to a seated position, everyone. And here we're going to do a final back strengthening exercise. We have 3 levels. 3 levels. So each time, choose your level. And when you're finished, grab behind the thighs and softly round your back. So maybe we do that first. Everybody just round the back, tuck the chin in, so you get a little stretch of your back. And then come up to a seated position. You're up on your sitting bones. You should feel the 2 points of the bones. Those are actually part of the hip bones, but they're the sitting bones that you feel up. You're right on them. Okay, you shouldn't be rolled behind them. You should be on them. First level, arms are straight out in front of you. And we hold. 5, 4, keep lengthening the spine. 3, 2, 1. Hands come behind the thighs. Round your spine, tucking the hips under, drop your head, and we hold. Next, lift up. So we've just done level 1. Maybe you want to stay with level 1, arms straight out in front of you. Or to move on to level 2, open your arms out to the sides. Lift your chest, crown of the head to the sky, and you hold. 5, 4, keep lifting the spine. 3, go to level 1 if it's too much. 2, 1, everyone grab behind the thighs and around the spine, relaxing. So of course, there's always another level. Now you can choose level 1, level 2, or level 3. Coming back up onto the sitting bones, lift your spine. So choose level 1, arms out in front, level 2, arms out to the sides, or level 3, arms over the head, reach to the sky. Choose which level you want to work. Lift the chest, hold it. 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2. Good job. 1. Hands behind the thighs. Round your spine. Whew. Coming back up to seated. Scoot yourself forward on the mat to be able to roll onto your back. Make sure you just have enough room behind you. And bring your knees to your chest. Rock softly from side to side. Good job. Feet into the floor. We'll only do 1 bridge pose today. Elbows pressing down into the earth, open the chest. Lift up to your half bridge pose. Lengthen your neck at the same time. Press down into the backs of the arms, the backs of the shoulders, so it lifts the chest nicely. If you would like to work the perineum at the same time, as you breathe out, feel your perineum lifting up. You need to contract upwards. Breathe in, breathe out, lift the perineum up, pull the belly in. Breathe in, releasing. Breathing out. Breathing in. 3 more times. Last one. Good job, everyone. Arms over the head. Lower your back 1 vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly. Nice. Bring your knees up against your chest, everyone, and rock from side to side. Relaxing and letting go. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Grab around the legs and pull the knees towards the shoulders. If you'd like to add in the back of your left leg, you could straighten your left leg, flexing the foot, pull the leg towards you even farther. That's it. Deep breathing. Bend your left knee. Place the left foot on the floor. Legs are crossed. Let your knees fall to your left. Stretch your right arm out to the side for a spinal twist. Raise your right arm, rolling to your left-hand side. Left arm under the head. Grab a hold of your right ankle and push the knee behind you. Hip goes forward. Getting a good stretch down the front of the thigh and even into the hip flexor of the right leg. Good job. Bring your right knee to your right shoulder and roll back onto your back. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Grab around both legs and pull the knees in towards the chest. And we hold here. Deep breathing. If you'd like to add on the back of the right leg, stretch your right leg to the sky. Foot is flexed and grab a hold, pull it in. Bending your right knee, keep the legs crossed. Let the right foot come to the floor and let your knees go to your right. Left arm out to the side, spinal twist. Raise your left arm, roll to your right hand side. Grab a hold of your left ankle. Push the knee behind you, hip goes forward. We're stretched down the front of the leg. Bring your left knee to your left shoulder and softly roll onto your back. Grabbing around both legs. One last time, rocking from side to side for the low back. Coming back to center, lift your head, nose between the knees, rounding out completely, and softly lower your head to the earth. One leg at a time, stretch the legs onto the floor. Make any minor adjustments you need to make to be comfortable on the floor. Setting your hands onto your belly, one below the belly button, one above. And you want to move the upper belly mainly. The lower belly, you may feel it move slightly, but please never press down as you breathe in. The lower belly stays strong and flat. Let's go. Breathing in, let the lower belly stay strong and the upper belly grows. Breathe out and release. And again, breathe in. Breathing out and release. This time, breathe in. Hold your breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out and release. Take 3 natural breaths in and out. Make sure it's the upper belly that's moving. And at the next breath in, breathe in and hold your breath. This time for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1. Breathe everything out. Natural breaths. This breathing exercise calms the nervous system, and it can be so good just before a relaxation exercise. Last round. At your next deep breath in, hold your breath. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, that's good, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe everything out. You can bring your arms by your sides now. Find yourself in a comfortable position. And begin by relaxing from the head, crown of the head, hair, forehead, eyebrows, over the eyes, cheeks, mouth, chin, and jaw. Feel yourself relaxing the region behind your ears, your neck, your throat. Feel yourself relaxing the shoulders. upper back. Chest. The arms all the way down to the wrists and the hands. Relax your rib cage. Relax the middle of your back, your tummy, the lower back. Relax your hips, your legs, the lower legs, all the way down to the feet and toes. And as you allow yourself this moment of relaxation, imagine a calm lake, blue water. And the surface is completely calm. The activity of the mind can be said to be ripples on the surface of the lake. Those ripples remain at the surface. The whole lake itself is calm and tranquil. Beautiful blue color. Begin deepening your breath now. Allow the vision of the lake to disappear as you begin moving your fingers and your toes. Move your hands, your feet. And now the arms, let's raise them over the head and stretch from fingers to toes, reaching over the head. And bring your knees up against your chest, rocking softly from side to side. When you're ready, roll all the way onto your right-hand side. So remember, the best way for your back to lift up is to set the hands down, push into the floor, and lift from the side. Once you're seated, let's rub our hands together, raise some heat and energy in the hands. Bring the hands over the face. Softly tap around your eyes. Shake your hands out. Rub your hands together and place the hands at the low back and make a couple of circles. Just send the heat and energy to the low back. And shake the hands out. Now, bring both index fingers to either corner of your eyes on either side and softly pull the skin towards the ears. And we're going to work against this gentle pull. You'll squeeze your eyes shut and squeeze them towards your nose and then open your eyes. Keep the gentle pull with your fingers. Squeeze shut and open. 3 more times, squeezing shut, opening, squeeze shut, opening. This is so good for the eyes as well as the skin around the eyes. Open. Now palm your eyes. Keep your eyes closed if you've got your palms over the eyes. This helps to raise some tears in the eyes, keeps the eyes hydrated, as well as working the muscles and the skin around the eyes. Hands at the heart center, open your eyes now. Have a lovely fall day, everyone. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Good job.